video is a back to school DIY video, and this is one of my favorite DIY videos that I've ever done, and all of the projects are featuring Scotch Duct Tape. These are all the colors that I used. Scotch was kind enough to send me these rolls of tape and also included 2 of their brand new patterns. So this one is called Blue Peacock, and this one is my favorite, I think. I think it is just so pretty. It's sort of like shimmery and metallic. I absolutely love it. And then this one is called Triangle Paradise, and it's this cool Aztec print, and it's so bright and colorful, which I think will be great when you're trying to do that sort of sad transition from summer back into fall when colors start to get a little bit darker. So this will help to keep you summery and bright during your school year. So enough of me rambling, let's go ahead and get into the DIYs. Start off by selecting the color tape that you want. I'm using this new pattern from Scotch Duct Tape called Blue Peacock, and I'm just going to cut a piece off. You can make it as big or as small as you want. It's completely up to you and how big you want your bookmark to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece in half horizontally just to make it a little bit skinnier. And then from there, what I'm going to do is stick my paper clip onto the tape and then fold the tape over so that it closes off any of the sticky parts. And now I'm just using my scissors to cut this and make it just a little bit slimmer. You can still keep it as big or as small as you want, but I wanted mine to be just a little bit smaller. And then I'm just going to go ahead to the top of it and cut a little V shape, and that just adds sort of a flag look to it. You can leave it the way that it is or cut whatever sort of shape you want at the top of it, but I really like the way that this one came out. And here is the completed bookmark. It's pretty much the easiest DIY I think I've ever done on my channel, and so I'm just repeating that step here. This one I made a little bit smaller, and I tried it with a few different patterns, so you can go ahead and play around with this and make as many as you would like. So to start this next one off, I'm just going to go ahead and cut a super long piece of the Blue Peacock tape, and I'm just going to line it up with the top of my pencil holder, and I'm just going to slowly start to wrap it around. It takes a little bit of time and patience to get it to line up with the top as closely as possible, but once you get the hang of it, it becomes a little bit easier and you can get it done just a little bit faster. And once you reach the other end, you can go ahead and cut off the excess and try not to let yours roll away like I did, and then smooth down the edges. And that one is as easy as that. Now I wanted to do one that had a little bit more design to it, so I'm starting off with this Scotch tape, which is Triangle Paradise, and I'm just marking how big it is on the cup and just marking it with a pen. It just makes it a little indent, that way I can see. And then I'm going to be using this Scotch Duct Tape color called Hot Pink, which I think is so pretty, and so I'm just going to cut a big long piece of that and wrap it around the cup. So this time when I'm wrapping, I'm putting it a little bit lower down, that way some of this color will show when you put the Triangle Paradise color on top of it. So once you have that pink tape all smoothed down, you can go ahead and repeat what we did for the first cup and just line up your print with the top of the cup and wrap it around. really love the way that this one turned out. I think the pink goes so pretty with this design, and I'm just really in love with that one. So to start off this last DIY, you're going to take your file folder and just start marking off lines so that you get the dimensions of how big you want your pencil case to be. Obviously, this is totally up to you, and it's pretty rough. I just laid a pen down, that way I could sort of see how big it was going to be in comparison to make sure everything was going to fit. And once I had my lines all drawn out, I just took a pair of scissors to it and cut out the shape that I wanted. And once you're done, you're going to have the base to what your pencil case is going to be. So I wanted to start off with the inside color of the pencil case. I decided to use Scotch Duct Tape in hot pink, and basically what I'm doing is just measuring how big the piece has to be, cutting it off, and then I'm going to go ahead and tape it down straight across. And then any loose ends I have, I just go ahead and bend them over to the other side to make a nice clean edge. And I'm just going to go ahead and repeat this step all the way across the folder. Now, to ensure that the other edge gets lined up as perfectly as the first one, I'm going to go ahead and do that before I lay down my last piece. That way you get a nice clean edge without having to snip any excess off. And now just fill in the gap with one last piece, and you are all done with the inside of your pencil case. So now for the outside, I'm starting with the base color of pearl white, and I'm just repeating the exact same steps that I did on the first side, except this time it is going to be on the other side. Now, as you can see, some of the pink that we folded over still shows on the white side, since the white is sort of a lighter color. So all I'm going to do is double up the tape there by measuring across and laying that piece down. And by doing that, it completely covers up the pink that you could see on the white side. And now we are done with both the base colors for our pencil case. Now, in order to close off the sides, what you're going to do is close up the pencil case the way that it's actually going to be, and measure out a piece of tape that will cover the entire side of it, and lay it down halfway on one side and bend it over to the other side. That way it closes off the ends. And then with whatever excess is hanging off, you can just go ahead and snip that piece off. This is going to make sure that the sides of our pencil cases actually stay closed. This next part is a little bit tricky. So I started off by cutting a piece of this jet black Scotch Duct Tape into a square shape, and then in order to repeat that same size, I'm just lining it up with the tape, and I cut a few of the same size square piece of tape. That way it will help us make our design look a little bit more exact. So once you have your pieces cut, you're just going to start lining them up along your pencil case. Now, this is a little bit tricky, and it takes a little bit of trial and error. There's no real trick to it. You just sort of have to be patient with yourself. It's very easy if you place down the tape to peel it up again and sort of reposition it. So don't stress out too much about it. Just do your best, and it's going to come out really good. And once you have your design placed down, you can go ahead and trim off the edges of any excess tape. And now you are done with the design of your pencil case. So now all that's left is to add some closure to the top of it. So I bought this Velcro and I'm just snipping a piece off. It doesn't have to be too big or too small, it's totally up to you. But once you have one piece cut, make sure that the other side of the Velcro is the same size as the first piece you cut. And now what I'm going to do is lay down some hot glue, and then I'm going to place my Velcro on top of it. And then I'm going to run some hot glue along the other side and push it down, that way it closes. Make sure that you give this a good amount of time to dry, that way there's no accidents with it, but as you can see, once it's done, it keeps everything perfectly safe inside of there and the Velcro works perfectly. This has got to be one of my favorite DIYs that I've ever done. I'm sort of obsessed with this one. So that is it for this back to school DIY video. I hope that you enjoyed it. A big thank you again to Scotch for sending me these amazing duct tape colors. This was so much fun to make, and if you make any of them, make sure to tweet me a picture to @Cimorelli and hashtag it with the hashtag DIYwithPXB, and I will make sure to retweet it and to follow you and to send you a DM, and we can be pals forever. I also want to let you guys know that if you go to the Scotch Color and Pattern Duct Tape Facebook page, they are running a contest on there, and I will have more info about that in the description along with a link to the Facebook page. So make sure that you go check that out and enter the contest. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!